Hi everyone, my name is Simone and welcome to Sims Vids. Today's video is about how I've coped with anxiety and depression because of the loss of my sister. So let's just get into it. In May 2020, I lost my sister to a blood clot being in her leg that detached and traveled to her lungs. That day, her last words to me was come. And I remember it as if it was yesterday. Hearing those words come, I knew I had to get to her as soon as possible. But unfortunately, by the time my daughter and I got to her, it was too late. Now, when we heard that she did not make it, it was devastating. I was devastated. My mom was devastated. My daughter was devastated. The whole family was devastated because that was not something that we expected to happen, especially to her. You know, she was a vegan. She was very conscious about what she ate. So it just did not make sense. But reality was, she was no longer with us, and we needed to try to move forward because that is what she would wanted us to do. But with me, I took it very hard. She was my only sibling. Uh, we did everything together. We were very close. I was the older one, but she thought that she was the older one. I used to call her my big little sis. And she used to, she just used to motivate me about anything I wanted to do. You know, anything that I would say I wanted to do, she would just make me believe that I could do anything. And I never questioned it. When I was raising my daughter, she would always say to me what an amazing mother I was. And hearing those words come from her, it just meant the world to me because my sister meant everything to me. She was not only my sister, she was my best friend. She was my confidant. She was everything. Like, I didn't go to anybody. When I had a problem, I went to her because I trusted her. I never had to think that if I said something to her, she would betray me. I knew whatever I said, it would stay between her and I. You know, that's just the relationship that we had. You know, we were just so close. And when I lost her, my world basically came, everything just started crashing down on me. I ended up in a very dark place where I was basically on the verge of giving up on myself. And now, when I mean giving up on myself, I don't mean, you know, giving up on life. I meant just giving up on me. I wasn't motivated to do anything. I was crying a lot. I wasn't eating. Depression was really taking a toll on me. And not only was I struggling with depression, I was struggling with anxiety as well. Now, the anxiety was making me fear everything because now I had to basically, I had to face everything by myself. And I never had to do that before because I always had my sister in my corner. So not having her around was something very new to me. And I really did not know how to cope. So the anxiety got out of hand, and so did the depression. And it got to a point where I basically had to choose myself or allow the anxiety to continue having the best of me. And I chose me. So basically, what I did was I had to take therapy. And through therapy, I learned that there was a lot of things that I was dealing with subconsciously that I didn't even know that was there. Things that happened to me, you know, as a child, as an adolescent, as a young adult. Things that I really did not know how to deal with, and I had anger in me, and I wasn't making wise choices at that time. Now, if you're someone that struggles with anxiety or depression, please, please do not let anyone tell you to snap out of it. That is not how anxiety works. For somebody to tell you that you're worth less than you are because you are dealing with certain things in your life and you really don't know how to cope with them, you want to know what? That's not a good feeling. When I was dealing with my anxiety, people did not understand what I was going through. They kept saying to me, this is not what your sister wanted. And honestly, deep down, I knew that. I knew that's not what my sister would want. But at that time, I wasn't thinking, right, about what I should do. It's what I was able to do at that time. And at that time, it wasn't much. And as I said, the anxiety took over me. The depression took over me. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to eat. I cried. I would lock myself up in the room. I would isolate myself. I didn't go out in public, nothing. And as I said, I did have comments said to me, snap out of it, or what's wrong with you? You can't live your life like this. When somebody is going through depression or anxiety, you cannot tell them that. So, from me to you out there, if you are dealing with anxiety or depression, do not give up on yourself. Do not think that the anxiety and the depression is you. It's not. You just have to come to terms and figure out how to get yourself out of that dump. Because basically that's what it is. You're in a dump, So, as I said, with me, I finally chose me and I started taking therapy, which helped me a lot. It gave me the tools and strategies that I needed in order to cope. And one of those coping mechanisms was actually journaling. And I used to write about my sister and I when I started journaling. And when I was journaling, I didn't want to go back and read them, but I ended up reading some of the stuff that I read. And honestly, I have to say, I'm happy that I did, because even though there's a void in my heart, I know that my sister is looking over us, my family, and she's smiling, because every day is a struggle. And every day we put one foot in front of the other and we pray and we just hope for the best for whatever situation that we're in. Anxiety and depression is a mental health thing. And I did not want to come to terms with that I was actually having mental health issues. But when I started to educate myself about anxiety and depression, I started to understand things a lot better. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because people has come to me and asked me, how did I cope? How did I pull myself out? The answer is, no one can tell you when you are ready. You need to be ready to do the work on yourself. And through anxiety and depression, you may feel fed up. You may get, frustrated over every little thing. You may get angry, you may get emotional, whatever emotion you are feeling, that is what you are feeling in the moment. However, hope is not lost. You can get out of it. And you want to know what? Better is coming. And you have to believe that. You just can't say it and then go back to the old ways. When you say better is coming, better is near, you have to believe it and you have to move forward with that in your heart. So my message to people out there that is struggling because you've lost someone, or you're going through something where you feel life is just holding you down in one spot in your life and you just don't know what way to turn to yourself first. Choose yourself first. Educate yourself if you feel that you are struggling with anxiety or depression, and try to get the help, because without educating yourself and without getting the help that you need, you're going to be stuck and you're not going to know what way to turn and what things to do for yourself. I'm one of the lucky ones where I was able to identify that this was not me. I was very independent before my sister passed, and in the time where I was mourning her, I gave up on everything. I didn't want to do anything for myself. As I said, I was locking myself away, isolating myself, crying. I was angry at everyone and everything. And honestly, one day I thought to myself, this is not me. And this is not what my sister would want for me. And when I thought that, that is when I started to see the light at the ending of the tunnel, and I started to get help for myself. So, as I said, the reason why I'm making this video is because I know that people are struggling out there, and I know that people think, oh, depression, this is it. Oh, anxiety, this is it. No, do not make them define you. You define yourself. You pull yourself out of it. And the thing about it is, when you're dealing with anxiety and depression, you need your village. You cannot battle it alone. Battling anxiety and depression on your own is a lonely road. And you have to have the proper support system in order for you to cope successfully. Now, I'm here to tell you it can be done, and it takes work. I developed anxiety when my sister passed, and presently I'm still moving forward. There are some voids in my life that I am still dealing with. However, every day I wake up, I give God thanks that I'm able to see another day, and I try to stay hopeful for what is yet to come. Not having my sister around, it is different for me, and I do look at things differently, and I look at people differently, because during that time, I really started to see who was for me and who wasn't. But you want to know what? I didn't make that break me. Because I knew I wanted to get better, I just kept focused, and I moved forward. I did my therapy. I educated myself about the stuff that I was going through, anxiety and depression, and I would make little notes, little tips, what I could do, what things could make me feel better. And doing that, I was able to. So my message to you is, if you are struggling with anxiety or depression, do not think you cannot come out of it. You can. You just have to remain strong and you have to remain focused. Once you do all of these things, you'll be able to. You will be able to. I got through that without getting emotional. I really thought that I was going to break down in the middle of that. But if you like this video, please like, share, please comment. If you are somebody that is dealing with anxiety and depression and you want to reach out to me, please do so. I welcome your comments. I'm not a professional. I could only comment on stuff that I've been through, and based on the stuff that I've educated myself with, I could only give you suggestions. So don't reach out thinking that I can fix you, because I can't. I wish I could, but I can't. But living with anxiety does not have to be sad. It can, what's the word I'm looking for? It can be optimistic. Every day is new. Every day it's a new experience, and you just have to keep focus and moving forward in your worth, because we all have worth regardless of what people may say to us. So share, like, subscribe, turn on the notification so whenever I post, you can get the notification. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you soon. Bye.